Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're joining us from. Welcome to our Masterclass webinar with Viceroy Bali. My name is Maggie Abdallah. I'm the Director of Sales. And with us today, we have Patrick Farrell, the General Manager. So he's called in to share this special property with us. Patrick, welcome.
Thank you so much, Maggie. Nice to see you again.
You as well. And I see you have somebody else with you as well. So would you like to
Yes,
introduce your colleague?
here to my right is Tanya. Tanya is our Director of Sales and Marketing.
Good morning from sunny Ubud.
Yeah, it's a beautiful morning here, so we're very happy to be recording this with you.
Great. Well, and share this special property. Where is it located? Because this is a fascinating photo to look at.
Right, so we're probably a few hundred steps from that actual photo. We're in Ubud in Bali, right? So Ubud is the home of Eat, Pray, Love. It's where people come to find themselves. It's quite a spiritual place, but a very beautiful place to just relax and switch off in general. So yeah, this is the main swimming pool that we're looking at on the screen. And of course, it's an infinity pool. You feel very relaxed the moment you see it, I think. It just has that feeling, adds to the feeling of relaxation that Ubud offers. And the pool, as do all the villas, overlook the private valley that I'll show you now in the next few slides. But just briefly about Viceroy Bali, we're part of small luxury hotels. We're not part of the Viceroy brand. We got asked that so many times,
I know.
naturally, because we share the name. But we love the teams there. We know them quite well, of course, through you guys as well, Maggie.
Hmm.
So we're very happy to share the name. But yeah, we're very much independent. We've been open since 2005, and I will tell you a bit more about that now. In our most recent news, I guess we were awarded a Michelin key last year in October. So,
Exciting.
yeah, really nice news. It helps us to, of course, maintain the assurance that we offer great service and quality to
Hmm.
guests. What we're really hoping for, Maggie, is the Michelin stars to come. So the keys have arrived in Indonesia, and we're happy to
Hmm.
have one. But we're really waiting for the dining side, and I'll tell you a bit more why in a few more slides.
Excellent.
But back to our location, Maggie, we're right here in the middle of the island, we can say. It's kind of the cultural hub, Ubud is called, of Bali, or the cultural capital. It's a great place to just come and explore temples, waterfalls. You've got so many beautiful rice terraces, making it very different to what we have down on the coast in places like Seminyak, Nusa Dua, Uluwatu. But often what we find is clients combine that very much. So they'll do some time when they land perhaps by the beach, anywhere down the coast, down the south, and there's many beautiful properties there. And then they'll come up to Ubud and perhaps even go a bit further to the more unexplored areas like Singaraja, Lovina, Ahmed over there in East Bali. So Ubud is a destination on its own, but it's also a nice stopping point for further exploration to the more unknown parts of Bali.
Hmm.
But one thing we found in the past 12 months, especially Maggie, is pre and post cruise stays. So we've been welcoming a lot of clients. Just naturally, they've booked us themselves through various channels, I guess. But
Hmm.
we see we're a great option for that. We're only about an hour and a half from Benoit Port, which is where most of the big cruise ships dock. And often
Okay.
they're here for 2 or 3 days. So it's a great option for those clients who want to explore the jungle because they're on the ship for so long, right? They've water all around them. So it's a great option when they land on Bali to pop up to Ubud. And yeah, we're naturally a great fit for the typical cruise client, I can say.
That's
But
great.
yeah, I'll tell you a bit more again about the dining in a second. But like I mentioned, Ubud is great for the outdoor activities. You've got the rafting, cycling. You can go for beautiful walks and hikes. And yeah, we're not too far from two famous volcanoes, one called Mount Batur and the other Mount Agung. And that's a really popular activity to do the morning sunrise trek on Mount Batur. It does require getting up at 2:30, 3 a.m. and going up to the mountain, but often for the sunrise view, it's worth it.
Yeah, sounds like it.
But then back on property, once you're at Viceroy, even though we're only 10 minutes drive from the center of Ubud, once you're on the property, it feels like you're away from everything. And we find often a lot of guests don't actually leave the hotel. They're happy to be just amidst the jungle, enjoying the
Hmm.
relaxed vibes. Because again, all of the villas have this view onto a private valley. So where my mouse is, we actually own the piece of land directly across the valley, which protects it, of course, for the wildlife and the monkeys we see jumping in the trees, but
Hmm.
also protects the view. for all of the villas. It stops anyone from building projects or constructions across the valley. So we're very fortunate that Margaret, the owner, who I think is in a slide coming up, was had the vision to kind of purchase that land when she started building in 2005. This is just
Slice of
another.
paradise.
It really is. It's like we call it a sanctuary in paradise, is what we
Hmm.
used to often say. And it still is,
Hmm.
Bali sometimes gets a bad rep with traffic and this and that, but there is so much beauty still on offer. And again, when you're at the property at Viceroy, you really feel the real sense of Bali. So it's nice to still have that. In between the valley, there is a river that you can kind of see in the pictures. Now, the great thing that I always highlight about this river is that there's no water activities taking place. So, like on the other side of Ubud, say in the Cyan area, there's a lot of rafting and noise essentially. So there's no noise pollution from humans on this
Hmm.
river, which makes it again more peaceful when you're relaxing in the villa. Then
Definitely.
left-hand side of the screen, you can see we are the only property in Ubud with a helipad. So we can provide helicopter transfers from the airport. Of course, it's with a third-party company, all verified, and they can arrange it with us and they land. And it's about a 15-20 minute drive transfer from transfer from the heli pad at the close to the airport. So it beats, of course, the drive, but the
Hmm.
drive has its charm as well because you're driving through the villages. So there's kind of, it depends on the client if they want a quicker transfer to the property or if they want to take in the roads on the way. That's just a
It's
picture
great.
of that. And like I mentioned, we're part of small luxury hotels, but not only that, we're part of the finest collection within small luxury. So that means it's the highest tier, I suppose, that you can be. Currently, there's 24 properties globally, and small luxury have, I think, 800 properties. So it's a great
Hmm.
niche for us to be part of the finest collection of SLH. And coming up on 2 years ago now, SLH launched a partnership with Hilton Honors. So it just means that we get distribution through the Hilton channels, which is a good thing for us on property, of course, but it's mainly used for when clients are redeeming points, which, as we know, advisors are well used to dealing with now. But it's just for a
Yes.
point of reference more than
Yeah.
anything. And then this is the family I mentioned. So Margaret is here in the middle. She is the main visionary behind Viceroy, and to this day she keeps me on my toes and Tanya. She's still very much on the ball, which is great because she knows every nook and cranny about the property. Guests love to speak with her when she's here. She's not always on property, but she, had the vision back in 2003 and 4 to start building Viceroy with her brother Mark and Chris. And that was where it all started. And over the years, Amanda, her daughter here on the right, got involved, as did Anthony, her son. They both held the general manager position before I returned to take over from Amanda so she could focus on her two beautiful boys. But the essence of Viceroy Bali is that we are truly family owned and the
Hmm.
team are also treated like family. And it's something that I really like to highlight. It makes us super different. We're not following, say, a corporate guidebook from a brand or anything. We really kind of made the rules by ourselves over the years. The family travel a lot, of course, so they took back what they like, and that's what made us, I suppose, what we are today. All of those
It's
personal
very
touches.
special. Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
special though.
So that's an introduction to the family. In total, then, looking at accommodation, we have 40 units. They're all with a pool. So each villa or suite has their own private pool. Pool suite is the entry level. Even though it's entry level, it's very large in size,
Hmm.
150 square meters. It's semi-outdoor bathroom, and the pool here is more like a plunge pool. The great thing about all of the pools in all villas, they can be heated, so it's a nice option to have that warm water out in your deck
Hmm.
if you like, but equally fine to not have it heated. Terrace villa is one of my favorite room types. Again, we only have four. They're very traditional in design. The furniture is all bespoke made for Viceroy over the years. Then what we did was we made the deluxe terrace villa. So it's probably our most popular villa category because we have 24 of them, but they
Hmm.
were modeled on the original terrace villa. So they've been made a bit more contemporary. Full marble floors everywhere. So we move away from using a lot of the dark wood that you see in most properties in Bali. So the feeling that you get at Viceroy is again quite different. And again, goes to that personal touch that Margaret has put in
Hmm.
over the years. This is a picture of one of the infinity pools in the deluxe terrace villas. So you can see super spacious, Ideal for honeymooners. It's a really nice place for couples to relax. We do have connecting villas as well. So on the terrace, there's an outdoor door that can open up to become, say, a two-bedroom villa. But we do also have individual two-bed villas called the
Okay.
Viceroy. Yeah, and there we have five of them. The second room of these is located upstairs. So it's a standalone unit, really convenient for families, but
Hmm.
also for couples who like to travel together. And again, thinking of that cruise client who might be on a kind of a group tour, it's an ideal choice for them. And there's, of course, buggy service throughout the property, but you can also walk very easily to each area because we're still fairly boutique in size. We're not a massive resort. So that is one point to highlight. The Viceroy Villa then is kind of our top tier villa. It has two bedrooms also and a large swimming pool. The river that I mentioned earlier
Hmm.
is just beneath these pillars, so you can really hear it from this villa beautifully, which is a lovely touch. We enhanced the bathroom there probably 2 years ago now. We added a lovely copper bathtub, so helping for healing properties. And then onto the dining. So if we're not known for great accommodation and service, it's dining. Like everyone who comes comments on the quality and consistency of the food. And again, that goes back to the family having a real big input and passion for that. Cascades is our all-day dining restaurant. So it's kind of semi-outdoor, fully covered. So you can enjoy a meal there whilst it's pouring rain in rainy
Hmm.
season. But the food here is kind of international, quite relaxed, but we still have that fine dining element. We know we do tablecloths in the evening for dinner, but you can still, have a cheeseburger during the day, and the pool menu is served from Cascades as well. Touching on sustainability briefly, we have a greenhouse that does serve the parts of our restaurants, the two restaurants we have, Cascades and Aperitif, but a lot of the bar garnishes actually come from here. So from the cocktails that we make, using the local spices is a big part of that. So the team are often here foraging for this and that, and it's a lovely place to kind of just sit and relax. We have cooking classes. We do them, and the cooking classes will always start here with the chef, so you kind of see the produce of what you're going to be cooking and where it comes from.
I was just about to ask because that's a great. I know a guest typically asks, can we also tour it as well?
Yeah, for sure. And it's the team love bringing people there because it's real life in growth
Hmm.
and action. So it's really nice to see. And then moving on to Aperitif restaurant, we're really proud of Aperitif. It opened in 2018, so it's a relatively newer part of the property. But since then, it's gone from strength to strength. We've been awarded multiple accolades. We're part of the Tatler Best Indonesian Restaurants in 2025. But like I mentioned earlier, we're really hoping that Michelin will come to Indonesia. They're now in Philippines, Vietnam, and Malaysia, right? So Indonesia, we're hoping, is the next
Hmm.
target. That would really help again put aperitif on the map for the foodies of this world. We serve a seven-course degustation tasting menu with
Wow.
cuisine looking like this. It's kind of a French technique, let's say, but using Indonesian spices again is a huge part of it. So bringing in the local offerings that you can get in Bali and Indonesia. So yeah, we've been really fortunate with the success of Aperitif. And right next to Aperitif is Pinstripe Bar, completely different world, again designed by Margaret. You can either just come here
Hmm.
for a drink. We also serve bar food here now, so there's a really nice choice of dishes. It's a lovely, very open space to relax. We have live music. We've got a pool table. And if you buy a bottle of spirits, guests and clients can put their bottle in a cabinet and we'll print their name on a plaque and give them a key so they can come back and enjoy it over
Ah,
time.
nice
Yeah.
touch.
Yeah, makes it a bit more personable. And the team are there are super. They love engaging with guests and telling them about Bali. We've got some Sumbanese bartenders as well, which is a beautiful island, Sumba, about 2 hours flight from Bali, or an hour, should I say? Sorry. So the team
Hmm.
there are great. And then touching on wellness, we've got a beautiful spa called Akoya on property. We do all of the usual treatments like Balinese massage and facials, but then more in-depth things like we have the LED masks, we can do hair treatments and manicure, pedicure. Late last year, we added a infrared sauna. We also have a squash court, which is fairly unique.
It
It's
is
still a
unique.
popular sport, yeah, but pickleball and paddle has kind of taken over. But
It
we have
has, but
yeah. Amanda, Margaret's daughter, particularly loves squash. So when we had space adding the newer villas in 2022, we added this. So it's a nice touch, and it's used more often than I would have thought. So it's a
Yeah.
great, and the gym as well is super really well equipped and overlooks the jungle, and that's just next to the
And how
splash
many
pad.
treatment rooms do you have in the spa?
We have four upstairs and sorry, three couples rooms upstairs, and then we have two single rooms upstairs, and then three single room downstairs. So that's three, four,
Okay.
six, seven, eight in
Okay.
total.
I mean, you're a
And
small resort, so I always like
yeah,
to ask just because when people are arranging spa treatments, how far in
yeah.
advance would you suggest they? Yeah.
Well, it does depend. I reckon when it's high season, like July and August is our high season, I think it's always good to book it in advance and get it locked in. But at the
Hmm.
same time, we're fairly flexible. And it's
Hmm.
also good to point out that if guests or clients prefer to have the treatment in their villa, they can. It offers a different vibe. The spa is, of
Hmm.
course, beautiful, but having the option for the therapist to come to your villa is also nice for those who prefer
It
to stay.
is.
And then, yeah, we added the contrast therapy room late last year. So we have an infrared sauna and a cold plunge, which is
Wow.
great for biohacking and longevity.
Yeah.
Personally, I
I
make
mean,
use.
that's what you're supposed to do in Bali, right?
Exactly. You come here to retreat and to renew yourself, right?
Yeah.
That's a big part of it. And just here on the left is the spa, I suppose a waiting lounge, which also offers a beautiful place to just sit and chill.
Hmm.
Um, we have complementary activities throughout the week. They change from time to time, but this gives you an overview of what is on offer for guests. And they're lovely kind of cultural activities, but again, the live jazz is there. And we do social hour, which is like a GM cocktail type thing, 3 times a week.
I love
Um,
that.
yeah, it's nice. And guests love to come and talk to each other as well. And that's one of the magical things about Viceroy. Because we're still fairly small, often you'll get guests engaging with each other, which is a lovely thing.
Yeah,
Um,
no, I love that because it's still very personal.
yeah,
Very
for sure.
family oriented, has a family feel to it.
Definitely. Yeah, still, that's a big, big highlight for us. So that kind of covers us in a nutshell. I'm sure I'm missing lots.
So not a lot, but there are a few things that Patrick missed. The tap water,
Yes,
Oh,
we can drink our tap water. That's very
yes.
unique. Yeah, we have a
that's
reverse
a big point.
osmosis
Yes.
system. Yeah, we treat it on property, so we have a 16-step processing system that brings us cleansed water, which is yeah huge and one of the sustainability actions that we do.
And even if you don't drink the tap water, it's very safe to brush the teeth, for the skin, for the hair,
Yeah.
because overall water quality in Bali is not that great. So we have really good one. And another point, complimentary shuttle.
Yeah, so into town, if clients do want to go into Ubud, again, we're just 10 minutes from Ubud Palace, the center of town. It's only a 10-minute trip, and we offer a complimentary shuttle. So there's no issues of waiting for taxis or ordering a.
Taxis. Okay, that's a great point. Definitely. What would you say a typical minimum night stay is?
About 3 nights is the
Mhm.
typical. We've had a guest checking out today. They've been with us for 12 nights. Super happy couple.
Wow.
Yeah, and they're very lucky to be able to do that.
I was gonna
Uh,
say that's very, yeah, I love that though.
But yeah, like, and often they'll combine, like, usually you do 3 nights here, perhaps 3 nights in Seminyak or Nusa Dua or somewhere. But yeah, that's an average,
That's very special. I love that they're living their best life.
right? Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, thank you both for joining us to share this special property. I know we're going to have a lot of questions, but you saw Patrick and Tanya's information, so feel free to reach out to them directly or myself or my team, and we'd be happy to answer any questions you may have. Thank you so much. You both appreciate the
My
time.
pleasure, Maggie. Thank you for having us. See you soon, hopefully.
See you soon.